Hong Kong entrepreneur and democracy campaigner Jimmy Lai met U.S. Vice President Mike Pence and Secretary of State Mike Pompeo on Monday to discuss concerns about the controversial extradition bill and the status of the former British colony's autonomy. The Washington meeting came a day after 500,000 people took to the streets of Hong Kong. The founder and chairperson of Next Digital, Jimmy Lai, has thanked Secretary Pompeo for the administration's concern with human rights and encouraged continued international attention to Hong Kong. The U.S. State Department spokesperson Morgan Ortagus has said in a statement, and I quote him here, Secretary Michael R. Pompeo met with Hong Kong businessman and publisher Jimmy Lai today in Washington, D.C. They discussed developments related to amendments to Hong Kong's Fugitive Offenders Ordinance and the status of Hong Kong's autonomy under the One Country, Two Systems framework, unquote. The protests were organized in a bid to explain their stance against the extradition bill to the Chinese tourists when protesters crowded the Kowloon train station, which connects Hong Kong to mainland China. Sunday's mass protest in Hong Kong was the latest in a wave of large demonstrations against the bill. Hong Kong was supposed to have been protected by the One Country, Two Systems framework, under which the former British colony was handed back to China in the year 1997. If the bill becomes a law, the city could lose its status as a separate legal jurisdiction and trading entity, and journalists, visitors, activists, dissidents, or democratic politicians can be targeted for words and actions deemed illegal by Chinese authorities and can be extradited to face trial in Chinese courts. And the diplomatic war is spilling over to the United Nations as well. Hong Kong's pop star and pro-democracy activist at the United Nations Human Rights Council was interrupted by China not once but twice.
The Vienna Declaration guarantees democracy and human rights. Yet in Hong Kong today, these are under serious attack. Last month, 2 million people walked in peaceful protest, fighting an extradition bill that would remove the firewall protecting Hong Kong from interference of the Chinese government. Police shot rubber bullets and 150 tear gas bombs against unarmed protesters.
China's delegation interrupted Denise Ho's speech twice by raising procedural motions. First, it accused Ho of violating the UN Constitution by referring to Hong Kong as a country rather than a part of China. The Chinese diplomat used the second motion to accuse Ho of baselessly attacking the One Country, Two Systems arrangement under which the city is governed. Ho ended her speech by asking the United Nations to convene an urgent session to protect the people of Hong Kong and remove China from the United Nations Human Rights Council. Now, the United Kingdom has reiterated full support to Ambassador Sir Kim Darroch, despite the US President's scathing attack on the British government. Responding to the leaked emails by the UK ambassador to the US President Donald Trump in a series of tweets had said that he would no longer work with Sir Kim Darroch. He also criticized Theresa May's handling of Brexit, saying that she created a mess. Trump also welcomed Theresa May's impending departure from office and expressed his happiness in the United Kingdom getting a new Prime Minister. Yesterday, the United Kingdom's Foreign Minister Jeremy Hunt said that he did not share some of the views in the letter. He said that Britain and the US share the warmest of relationships. There were also reports that UK Trade Minister Liam Fox will apologize to Trump's daughter Ivanka during his visit to Washington, D.C. But Fox soon cleared the air, saying that he would not issue any apologies during his visit.
I didn't say I was apologising to anyone in particular. I read it in the Times this morning. But I think it's fair that we should be saying to our American counterparts that it's a pity that we've been unable to maintain the integrity of our own system. As for our ambassador in Washington, I think he's a fine public servant who's done a very good job. But clearly he's been let down by the political system itself, whether by accident or, as looks more likely, by design. And that sort of malevolent behaviour cannot be tolerated.
In the diplomatic memos obtained by the Mail on Sunday newspaper, the British ambassador to the US, Sir Kim Darroch, had described Trump as incompetent, inept and insecure. The memos attacked Trump personally, warning that the 73-year-old's career could quote-unquote end in disgrace. The documents detail Sir Kim Darroch's judgments on the Trump government from 2017 up until now.